Welcome to the update. We've got a great show for you today. Student Government President John Woodard is stopping by the desk to talk about tonight's student government debate, which I will be moderating tonight at 7:30 here on Tiger TV. What a coincidence that that was planned for today. Anyway, today we're talking about a different kind of election that took place yesterday in Ukraine. Citizens of Crimea would make the decision between whether they'd want to remain a part of Ukraine or join Russia. So how'd that vote turn out?
I'm for restoring Crimea to Russia, returning what Khrushchev took away.
I will never vote here for the government. Never in my life. Even if they win this vote, which I highly doubt, anyway, Russia will win.
I think that we are Slavic, so we should all be together, so I voted today for the first option.
95% of Crimea's citizens voted to join Russia, and because we value democracy as Americans, we can respect that Crimea would make that choice. But it's Russia, and there's the Cold War and all that stuff.
Now, I believe there's still a path to resolve this situation diplomatically in a way that addresses the interests of both Russia and Ukraine. That includes Russia pulling its forces in Crimea back to their bases, supporting the deployment of additional international monitors in Ukraine, and engaging in dialogue with the Ukrainian government.
Okay, so no Cold War as long as Russia does everything the United States wants. Is it wrong I really just want to use the phrase Cold War? But the question remains, will Russia listen to President Obama, or will Putin continue to puff his shirtless chest to these declarations?
We are putting as much pressure on the Russians as we can to do the right thing. We have given them the opportunity and the path to de-escalate and get this in the right place because they know that there are costs to their action here. The costs are economic. The Russian economy, the Russian stock market, and the ruble are at 5-year lows. Russia is isolated in the world. You saw that in the UN Security Council yesterday. And the more they escalate, the longer this goes, the greater those costs will be.
Basically, Russia is to the rest of the world as Siberia is to Russia. That's an SAT word thingy right there. Whatever it's called. Who cares, kids? That test means nothing to your intelligence. Now, where were we? Oh yes, speaking of bogus things that don't matter.
We have a wonderful ambassador representing the United States in Ukraine. He and I have a bet. I'm saying it's 70% of the vote to join Russia. He's saying 80% of the vote. We'll see what happens. Look, it's a bogus thing. We used to call it plebiscite in the days of Hitler and Stalin. It is a done deal.
Okay, I should reiterate. This vote in Ukraine actually does matter, which is why it's probably not the best idea to invoke Stalin and Hitler so casually. It kind of makes things more extreme than they really are. Leave that to cable news and pundits like me, where it belongs. Just call myself a pundit. That felt really weird. Coming up, I sit down with Student Government President John Woodard. He's going to announce he's running for another year as president. Just kidding. That isn't a thing. We'll talk about what he's done with this term, though. Stay tuned.